All right, guys, it's Sunday. I wrecked this car yesterday and I want to do some assessments on it. So I want to get the hood off. I'm not even going to pull it in the shop at the moment. I'm going to get the hood off. I'm going to get the bumper off. I'm going to get this fender off. I probably changed this wheel to a smaller one so that I can roll it around, because right now it's pushed in to the metal, so I can't roll it. So if we can, put a smaller wheel on there, I should have a better chance of being able to roll it. Sorry if the audio just changed, but it should be a lot better. So I'm going to start doing this before I take it off the trailer, because it's on the trailer right now. Pain in the ass to get it back on and off. I want to assess the engine damage and potentially bring it somewhere on the trailer to pull the fender, to pull the quarter panel out. So if we can do that before I take it off the trailer, that would be most ideal. But so here's some of the damage. Wheel took a little brunt of the hit. It doesn't look bent or anything, but maybe just need a new ring. Obviously this is pushed in pretty far. This is about how far it's supposed to be out. So that's how far it's pushed in. Probably about, 3-4 inches. This guy got a little scuffed. We're pushed in right here, cracked some of the powder coat up there. Tail light is broken, and this is bent right there. That the strut, it could be probably bent back, and this doesn't really take much wind force, so kind of like that. Probably could fix it just by hand, really, and then maybe get a new one. But the glass isn't broken. The door opens and closes perfectly, so it's not super structural. This, that kink isn't ideal. Up here, see my intercooler, it's right there. It didn't damage that at all. It didn't even hit it. The frame rails right here, didn't really even touch them. Both frame rails are perfectly fine. Didn't even get into the frame rails. Transcooler appears to be perfectly fine. Radiator, obviously fine. So everything's pretty good up front. That headlight's not broken. This headlight's broken. So hood, bumper, fender, headlight, side marker, quarter panel pull out, and that's it for body, really. Maybe the wing piece back here is broken, I think. I don't know. I don't even know what's broken back here, actually. Yeah, it's just a little bent. But that is good for back there. But then the only big holdup with racing this thing will be the engine. So I don't know what is the situation with the engine. I have no idea. Obviously, that's a big worry. We don't really know. Oh, this taillight's broken too, as Victor said back there. But actually, that's really nice. Oh, it's broken out of there. Yeah. So, taillight. Not that bad, really. Really not that bad. This could be pulled out. It doesn't have to be perfect to be raceable. Obviously, I could de-skin it and put a whole new one on there. Don't know if that's super necessary. The car's not that nice. Little battle scar. It's kind of nice, kind of cool, maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to take off the front end a little bit, and I want to assess the engine. I want to pull the spark plugs out, turn it over, see if it's got some water in it, see if it's hydro locked, and then I can get a good gauge from there. I haven't even been able to open the hood yet, so let's get to rolling on this. Okay, so I actually could get the hood open. We just didn't get it open last night because I didn't mess with it too much. But yeah, so here's the crash support is bent in right here and here. It pushed in a little bit up there, it looks like. A little bit, but that could probably be pulled out with a ratchet strap. This guy over here is pushed in. The headlight bucket is pushed. It's kind of pushed up against the intercooler a little bit, but again, could probably be pulled out with like a truck and a ratchet strap. Not so bad, honestly. I'm gonna start, I guess, unbolting this stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll start assessing the engine, because the engine's kind of the most important part. If the engine's tore up, then we got bigger problems anyways. I can already see I know some of the damage that was gotten. Yeah, so if you look in there, you see that? That is a freeze plug. So if you know what that is, that's where the coolant is behind there, they use that for like casting and machining purposes, whatever they are, or I don't know, whatever the purpose is, so that they pop out in case of issue. But that is a freeze plug. 2 of them popped out that I know of. I have 1 of them, but I know 2 of them popped out. So I know that's part of my issue, is that's where the coolant came from. Yeah, you can see in the belly pan, there's a bunch of water in there, but obviously it didn't catch all of it. Belly pan tried its best, couldn't make it happen. I forgive it, you tried. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out the spark plugs, turn the engine over, see what happens there, and kind of carry on from there, I guess. Okay, so all the plugs are dry. I'm gonna turn over the motor and see if any water comes out. None. All right, well, I mean, I guess start up the engine. I don't know. Okay, well, that's a good sign. Obviously there's no water in it, but maybe it just got the gasket. That's not a horrible fix. Obviously it's engine out still, because you can see the way that my car is, the engine just coming out to do the gasket's the easiest route. But you guys know that's a pretty easy deal, pulling the engine. So that's good. That's a good look. If the cylinder wall isn't cracked or something, there's no water in the cylinders. That was pretty amazing. But I'm gonna close this for now, because, you know, Bronte wants to go do stuff on this Saturday. I mean, on this Sunday, she wants to go hang out. So I'm gonna go do that instead after last night. But car started. Amazing. Now it's time to unload the car, or try to unload said car. Jim's trailer's a little awkward, but I think I might be able to get it close enough to where I can kind of get it right onto the lift. It will roll forward. I won't be happy doing it, but you know, that tire's already ruined, so I think I'll just drive it forward. I mean, it started up yesterday, so it could probably run for, you know, 30 seconds at most. I mean, it'll probably take like 5 seconds if I get back the trailer perfectly and just drive it right onto the lift, and then go up and start pulling the motor out, because that's what I need to do now. So I should be able to manage that. Just kind of put my ramps down, maybe back it up a little bit more, just keep jackknifing it a little bit, tweak it just a bit, but it should be able to pull right in. Well, it drove right on the lift. Obviously the tire was rubbing a little bit, so that slowed it down, but it was only rubbing against a little bit of metal and mostly this plastic, so it's not rubbing super bad. Maybe on the inside a little bit there, but oh yeah, definitely there. I think the diff is shifted over that way a little bit. If I was to guess, it would be that took a bend. If I was a betting man, yeah, you can see it rubbing pretty bad right there. Hit the inner wheel. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that may be crumpled slightly. Kind of looks like it. Yeah, it does, maybe. But that could be adjusted out as long as that's still sturdy, or reinforced pretty easily with some welded, you know, bracing. So we could pull it back this way with this pan hard bar. Pan hard bar could be adjusted. Coilover is clearly not straight. Anti-roll bar end links aren't straight. It's all shifted towards the passenger side a little bit. Unsurprisingly, you can see it all is rubbed over there. Yeah, this tire probably needs to be retired, potentially just a chip. And actually these needed to be replaced anyway, so I'm glad I didn't do that right before this event, because I was debating on it. But not too bad, honestly. If we can shift it back this way and tighten up that guy, shouldn't be too bad. All right, so bumper's off. It's actually way heavier than I expected, but here's some of the brunt of the damage. Obviously this frame rail kind of bent open, pushed in this inner metal structure. It kind of push this a little bit, but not really too bad. This is my nitrous purge right here. You can see how it goes all the way up there. Push this in a good significant bit, so that'll have to be redone somehow. I don't know exactly yet what I plan to do with the front end. I'm still assessing the situation. Obviously, intercooler didn't get touched. This is pushed in up here though, so that'll have to be pulled out, along with the core support has to be pulled out just a little bit. I believe that was pushed in because this right here, the hood pin pushed with the hood. You know, if it was just a latch, it probably wouldn't have done that. But because these hood pins, shout out to them. I mean, that's just a plastic piece, the arrow latch, and it held it pretty strong. So you can see my tow hook that hardly ever gets used on there. Really not too bad. So this is coolant overflow, trans cooler, radiator. Probably take this guy off next. It'll be pretty tough to get to this bolt, but I should be able to do it. Actually, it should be really easy. But yeah, time to get this guy off next. I think the only thing that held on was the bumper, and oh yeah, it does hold the radiator, the intercooler, and it does hold the trans cooler on a little bit there too. So not too bad. This is doable. I might just actually cut it right here and here so that it doesn't interfere with this, because it just needs these pieces. So that's actually not too bad. Time to keep on trucking. All right, look at that. Got the old sawzall out, or whatever they call it, the hacksaw, and just cutting this tube front end off a little bit. It's custom, made by my boy Troy Fedora. He was at Profab when he made it. So shout out to Troy, because this thing was always super badass, held the bumper really well. Yeah, so I bent this guy back out with the old gigantic pry bar over there, that guy. Bent that guy back out, headlight off, bumper off, cut that off. I'm gonna try to pull this one back out and then clean cut the rest of it. I could just unbolt it actually, so maybe I'll just do that. Unbolt it on these 4 spots, clean it up, try to flatten it, and then try to bend back the rest of this stuff. You know, like here needs to be bent back, here needs to be bent back. Not horrible, not beautiful, but it's not super bad. So here's the headlight mount. Yeah, so this headlight didn't break, kind of really kept the damage to right here. But yeah, not too bad. So here in the other corner is the damage, but it's kind of across the board. On the plus side, it'll be a lot easier to get to the get the motor out now without this bumper in the way. You served me well, old friend. You served me well. All right, well, you can see this is a little tweaked right here, and it kind of pulled out just a little bit. I think, you know, maybe this weld back on and then kind of, you know, I mean, this thing seems still structural. I don't know what to fix on this. Maybe just add a box it out right here and then weld it, and then bend it back. I think that might hold. I don't know. I'll talk to some more people. Don't just assume this is what I'm gonna do and I'll just move on. But you can see once I just undid that, see the rear end now moves. So you just extend this out to make up for, you know, how much you need. I don't know if I have enough heim joint for this. I may need a new bar or pull this in. I mean, that's how it always has been. It just centers the rear end, so it's not like a huge amount of force is on this unless you hit it on the side. You know, most of like the rear force is on this, and the anti-roll bar. So really it's only side to side movement. Obviously we'll address that, but you know, it's not super crazy or anything. So yeah, that's actually not a bad start. Okay, so without the panhard bar, I wanted to see how the rear end sat. You can see you can move the car like that, and it doesn't hit anywhere besides the rear bumper, which there's a little piece of metal back there, but it's mostly plastic. So I'm gonna pull off the rear bumper next and see what we're looking at here. I haven't even opened the trunk yet to see what it looks like inside. I've been kind of avoiding opening that bag of worms. We got the team here. Oh, it's a little fuzzy. Yeah. There they are. Dogs. Ball.
But you think the inside of the trunk is?
Well, because I don't know how far this pushed in. Yeah. This is annoying. This is a tough spot right here. But I'm talking to a couple different body guys to see what we can do. If we can just pull this out, I'll leave all this as character. Maybe put a Bogetti Studios sticker on it. You know, use my failure as advertising. Shameless plug. But yeah, so let's open this trunk and see what it's looking like in here. The deck lid's okay. It cracked right there in that corner, but that's it. This guy's bent, so that's really not too bad. I can straighten that back out or probably just get a new one. This came in a little bit, but not too bad. Probably take this headlight out. Just, you know, taking it apart makes it look less rough, I would say. The ice tank open, that's fun. All right, guys, episode 1 of this series, rebuilding the Camaro, is done. That's this one right here. I didn't know how I was going to do this, so I made just one long video and I cut it into, I'm not done yet, of course, but I'm just cutting it into kind of segments, so there's no real outro. There may be no intro for the next one, but the car is coming back together. We're going to have it at the reunion. I'm working my best off. I'm working my ass off to have it out. Got a bunch of stuff I gotta buy, a ton of new parts, a ton of things just to get it back to where it was. So please hit that subscribe button. Really helps me out, but maybe like it. I don't know, something like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it saucy. I'll see you next time.